welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com. As of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind. This is the official Lightning Flash update for February 20th, 2021. We are just 24 hours removed, or actually away, not removed, 24 hours away from the Elimination Chamber event. Let us check the chat. Because we got to make sure everybody's here. We got 9 likes so far. And see who is in the chat. We got Adam. We got Cool King, a.k.a. Rob Wells Jr. We got Lil Steve A, 317. We got Cameron fucking Johnson. Dee is here as well, my number 1 mod. We got 9 likes, 8 people watching so far, but that's not enough. You see, that is not enough. We need more than that. We need a lot more people in here, and we want to make sure, there we go. Furious Nation is here. That's what I'm talking about. Be sure to hit that like button, Mr. Nick Fury. We have a lot to talk about, but we're going to share out the stream a little bit more. I got to make sure everyone gets in here. Everybody gets in here. There we go. Couple more people. I got to make sure. Yeah, there we go. Here we go. Gotta make sure we get, where's Mac Fafita? Yeah, gotta make sure you get him in here. So, how is everybody doing today on this fine Saturday? Thank you all for joining me here. We have a great show lined up. We got a great stream lined up. But you see, there's a little problem. The problem is we don't have enough people in here. We do not have enough people in here. We need more people in the chat, and we need more likes. That's what we need. So I'm going to need y'all to do me some favors. I need y'all to do me some favors. I need to make sure you all do me the honors, and obviously, first things first, before we get started, we got a lot to talk about. But first things first, I need you guys to do me some favors. Obviously, if you haven't already done so, you gotta make sure you follow me on the Twitter sticks. Because you want to make sure that you get the latest tweets from the best damn Twitter handle known to mankind, of course, operated by me. Follow me on the Twitter sticks at HistoryMakerDJS. Follow me on Instagram at TheDJStorms. Add me on Facebook as well for collaborations and business inquiries. Please send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. I need y'all to like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is, all the links are in the description. If you guys missed the rewind for NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day, that link is in the description. That's doing great. That is I believe, at 30 likes already and over 150 views. That did great. The link is in the description. It's a pretty busy week for the DJ Storms brand yet again. This last week has been busy, and this weekend's going to be busy as well with another pay-per-view tomorrow. But the rewind for NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day, that link is in the description if you missed it. Also, the rundown for WWE Elimination Chamber 2021 with Mr. Hibiki TMD. That link is also in the description. We dissected, ranted, and raved on this poorly booked and poorly built pay-per-view that we got going on tomorrow night starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So you are going to want to check that one out. Me and him, we lit that shit on fire. So you want to go check that one out. That link's in the description as well as the rewind for NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day. We are about 6 minutes into the stream already. We have 12 likes so far, but that is not enough. You see, that is not enough. It's never enough. Never enough. So here's what I need you guys to do. If you haven't already done so, I don't know why you wouldn't have already done so, because we have a lot to talk about and a lot to dissect. A lot of news, rumors, and reports, and a lot of weekly material heading into Elimination Chamber tomorrow from the WWE main roster product. Of course, we got the follow-up from NXT TakeOver Vengeance Day, and of course, Dynamite, which is building towards the pay-per-view on March 7th, which is Revolution. We got a lot to talk about, so I need you guys to hit the like button. If you haven't already done so, it's really not that hard. Just gotta scroll down there and click it. It's not that hard. And when you do so, you gotta make sure that you're keeping the chat alive. I know a lot of people like Nick Fury, Dee Adam, Mr. Rob Wells Jr., they're going to keep the chat alive. I know they will. But I need you guys, if you haven't already done so, make sure, hit the like, and you share out the stream. Share out the stream. That way, we get more people in here. Because we got to make sure that everybody knows that DJ Storms is live on a Saturday. And I'm talking about everyone. I mean your mothers, your fathers, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your step-cousins, your step-brothers, your step-sisters, your stepmothers, your stepfathers, your grandmothers, your grandfathers, your dogs, your cats, and especially your guinea pigs. Because the guinea pigs, man, I don't know what it is, but there's this new study that guinea pigs, they live longer when they watch the Lightning Flash update hosted by yours truly, DJ Storms. I mean, even the guinea pigs have a fetish for DJ Storms. And when you share out the stream, you got to make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Because I'm trying to grow. I'm trying to expand. I'm trying to get my name out there in the entire IWC. You got to make sure that you hit the subscribe button so that way my channel grows and more people know about DJ motherfucking Storms. And of course, when you hit the subscribe button, you got to make sure you hit that notifications bell with a huge coup de grace. That way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, it is the best time to be on YouTube. I mean, it's the only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination and this beautiful mustache right here. Give me 1 second. Give me. Beautiful. I made sure to touch it up today. Of course, we got a pay-per-view tomorrow. I'm going to make sure that everything's touched up, especially because I got some interviews going down next week for a couple of accounting positions. So your boy is going to look nice and spiffy in a nice suit and tie. But today, of course, we're wearing the Young Bucks shirt. We are killing the business, ladies and gentlemen. But you see, I don't kill the business. I keep the business alive. Because without me, I mean, this community would be fucking dead. Dead! Everybody wants a piece of the Stormsmeister, just so you know. We got Adam. Yes, that is Elimination Chamber 2020 playing in the background. Peanuts is in the chat. Thank you very much for joining. We got a lot of retweets and likes on the Twitter sticks, but only 9 people in here. Only 9. I'm not sure about that. I don't know. See, I'm a little skeptical about that. You see, we need to make sure that we get a lot more people in here. So if you haven't already done so, share out the stream. Share out the stream on all platforms of social media, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, Tumblr. Share it out. Peanuts is in the chat. Adam, Paulo Cruz, officially a heel. Yes, now that is some good shit right there. We're going to be talking about that. Trust me on that. We're going to be talking about a lot of good shit. You are not going to want to miss a moment here on the Lightning Flash update. So, without further ado, I will check the chat. I will check the chat later. I will check the chat later after I'm done with the news, rumors, and reports. But first things first, be sure to keep me updated on whether my mic's coming in good. I want to make sure my mic is coming in clear. So, why don't we get straight into the news, rumors, and reports, and then I will check the chat again. Please make sure you keep on getting everybody in here. 14 likes so far. We have a goal here. What did we get for the rundown for... for Elimination Chamber with Hibiki? Let's check. We got exactly 36 likes. 36 likes for the rundown for WWE Elimination Chamber with Hibiki TMD. That was yesterday. So please, we're going to try and see if we can get to 40. 40 is the goal. So far we got 15. We're almost halfway there to 40 likes. So please, keep on sharing it out. Keep on in that like button. 40 likes is the goal. 40 likes is the goal. Now then, let's get into the news, rumors, and reports. I will check the chat after I read the news, rumors, and reports. So, first things first. My first report comes from the NXT TakeOver media call. Triple H confirmed another new signing to NXT. He announced that they signed Bronson Rick Steiner, who is the son of Rick Steiner of the Steiner brothers. Triple H stated, and I quote, "I'm incredibly excited about Parker Bodor coming in, Bronson Rick Steiner. We have a lot of people coming in the door, just as I am on people who have been here for a while." End quote. So, Bronson Rick Steiner, the son of Rick Steiner, interesting signing. I haven't really seen anything of him, but I would like to hope that he is going to be someone of substance. We're going to see where he falls on the card as far as NXT is related. We'll probably start seeing him after WrestleMania, because after WrestleMania there are going to be a few NXT call-ups, which we will talk about later on. Trust me on that. We'll talk about that. So, moving on from that, I got another report concerning NXT. PW Insider reported that Taya Valkyrie actually signed with NXT and is expected to be announced among the next group of PC recruits. She was reportedly at the NXT tapings this past Wednesday. Interesting material right there. I'm actually very much looking forward to seeing what Taya Valkyrie brings to the table. And to be quite honest with you, Taya Valkyrie, she's probably going to slide into that spot that Io Shirai is going to give up. Because within the next 2 months, again, I don't want to scare anyone, but Io Shirai's time in NXT is coming to an end. Io Shirai's time with that NXT Women's title is coming to an end. Toni Storm is going to be the one to take it off of her. If she's not, I'd be shocked. Io's going to go up to the main roster. I don't want to scare anyone, but unfortunately, that is what we are headed towards. And we could very well be looking at Taya Valkyrie sliding into Io Shirai's place, because they are going to need someone to fill the shoes of a top-tier woman in NXT. We could be looking at Taya Valkyrie versus Ember Moon for the NXT Women's Championship, Taya Valkyrie versus Toni Storm for the NXT Women's Championship, Taya Valkyrie versus Shotzi Blackheart, depending on where they want to go. But it's going to be a very interesting route. Hopefully we see Tegan Nox back very, very soon. I'm not really sure how long her recovery period is taking, but I hope to see Tegan Nox back very, very soon. But Taya Valkyrie has signed with NXT. This only adds to a stacked women's division. NXT's women's division is the best women's division in the world. it is not up for debate. This one is actually interesting. This concerns the AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Impact partnership. Dave Meltzer stated that Kazuchika Okada, yes, Kazuchika Okada, the Rainmaker, will be involved in the partnership between Impact, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and AEW. While he did not disclose how or when Okada will be appearing for either Impact or AEW, he stated how he will be one of the performers participating in the crossover. Now, I don't really want to make any bold predictions here, but if you think about it, Kenny Omega does not have anyone to feud with. Kenny Omega does not have anyone to feud with for the World Championship after Jon Moxley's match on March 7th. The match with Moxley, once it's over, it's over. Who is there to challenge him? Pac, more likely than not, is going to be the guy to beat Darby Allin. Cody can't challenge for the championship. People like Scorpio Sky, they're not ready. You could do Lance Archer, but do you really want to give Lance Archer another big loss? He's already lost 2 big matches. One against Cody and then one against Moxley. Even though he was kind of protected in defeat, I'm not really sure if you want to give Lance Archer another loss. I don't really want to put any false advertisements out there, but Kenny Omega does not have anyone to face at Double or Nothing in May. Now, they could build up someone, but I don't know. If they want to, the door is open. The forbidden door is open at that. The door could be open for a potential AEW World Championship match between Okada and Omega at Double or Nothing. I don't know. We could very well see that. Now, that was a great report. Now on to a shit report. According to a report from Sportskeeda, there are several superstars in the WWE. So, surprise, surprise, it's a shit report. It concerns WWE. There are several superstars in WWE who are unhappy with the current push given to Bad Bunny. There are also those who are upset about the potential of Bow Wow coming to the company. The site states, and I quote, "I'm bearing that Bad Bunny is already at or going to be soon at the PC in Orlando, with Bow Wow expected soon. Bow Wow is wrapping up an album. While this is great news for social media, word has it that actual talent are not impressed by the move. Talent is concerned that time and effort will go into the rap stars, which leaves less effort being given to the stars. Which leaves less effort being given to the actual wrestling product. Excuse me, I completely butchered that. Continuing on, it hasn't been confirmed, but both of them are scheduled for Raw and SmackDown appearances, but seeing how WWE plans are fluid, it could be any time." End quote. So, that's pretty much what's going on. That's pretty much what's going on with Bad Bunny and Bow Wow. Bow Wow Wow, yippee-yo, yippee-yay. I would like to keep you off of WWE Television, hey, hey. Made that shit up on the spot, Eminem, eat your heart out. I do not want to fucking see Bow Wow or Bad Bunny on television. I don't think anyone who is a loyal wrestling fan, I'm not sure anyone with a fucking brain wants to see Bow Wow or Bad Bunny on WWE television. I really don't know why this is even happening, because you take a look at the fucking ratings, it don't even fucking matter how much merchandise sales that he makes, because the merch sales, they're a minuscule percentage of what WWE really earns in terms of overall revenue, if we're going to be quite honest here. You take a look at the ratings, and the ratings, they can't even break 2 million ratings. They're still at 1.8, 1.7. Yeah, Bad Bunny really doing those ratings good, huh? Bad Bunny really doing those ratings good. Oh, by the way, did you also know that apparently WrestleVotes tweeted out that Bad Bunny is in the WrestleMania plans? Bad Bunny has solid WrestleMania plans. Meanwhile, the WWE Champion, Drew McIntyre, is left with open plans. Just think about that for a minute. Bad Bunny, the guy that looks like he's got a fucking chia pet on his head, has WrestleMania plans over the man who's holding the most prestigious title in your company. Or what is supposed to be the most prestigious title in your company. I don't blame the talent whatsoever. I do not blame the talent whatsoever. Social media ain't gonna do jack shit because social media likes, social media retweets, social media views, and social media traction ain't translating into legitimate television ratings. Look at the ratings. Social media don't mean jack shit. People are not watching for fucking Bad Bunny. They're not watching for Bow Wow. The ratings are still under 2 million. Even with Bad Bunny there. And how many fucking appearances has Bad Bunny made on WWE Television? He's been on Raw every single week since the fucking Royal Rumble. And the ratings haven't changed. So what is he exactly drawing? What is he exactly drawing? The talent has every right to be concerned. Where's Buddy Murphy? Where's Buddy Murphy? Where's Aleister Black? Why isn't Angel Garza getting more than 3 minutes of television time? Where's Andrade? Where the fuck is Andrade? Where was Ali this past Monday on Raw? He's in a fucking feud with Kofi Kingston, but instead Kofi Kingston, now he's in the Elimination Chamber. Where the fuck was Ali? Where was Ali? Where's Drew Gulak? Why isn't he being showcased in a prominent role? What about Ricochet? Where's Ricochet? Think. Moving on. So, we got a report from Dave Meltzer. Well, I got it off of Wrestle Talk, reported by Louis Danger, however the fuck you pronounce this guy. I still don't know how to pronounce this guy's last name. I think I've never watched Wrestle Talk in my life. I think I'm just gonna go and watch Wrestle Talk just to see if I can figure out how to pronounce this guy's last name. But Louis fucking Danger, he reported that Dave Meltzer stated the original plan was for Roman Reigns to actually defend the Universal title inside the Elimination Chamber. Now, the report stated, and I quote, "It's a way to get heat on Reigns." Which I understand, but at the end of the day, how much more heat are you going to get on Reigns for not having him defend the title inside the chamber? You're not just going to get heat on Reigns for doing anything. It's going to become very repetitive, very stereotypical, very standard. But Meltzer stated, and I quote, "It's a way to get heat on Reigns. Originally, Reigns was going to be in the chamber match. That was the original idea, and then I guess they didn't want to do it on both shows or something. Whatever, they wanted to tweak it, so they tweaked it." Why is it that you're so concerned about having 2 world title matches on both shows? At least it would have made sense. Why is it that we're having the SmackDown Elimination Chamber determine Roman's challenger on the same night? If that's the case, why didn't you just have Edge announce that he was challenging McIntyre? That way, McIntyre and Sheamus could have had a proper build towards a WWE Championship match at Fastlane. You actually could have given us a fucking reason to care about that match instead of throwing them inside the chamber. Reigns could have faced Nakamura because, again, I didn't forget a month ago Nakamura got fucked over in the gauntlet match. So as far as I'm concerned, he's still owed a Universal title match. He's not going to win, but that would be a great match and it would be a nice bridge to get Roman through the Elimination Chamber. Then you could have had a proper build towards McIntyre and Sheamus at Fastlane because, again, you don't need 2 world title matches on 2 pay-per-views that are before WrestleMania. You could have had one title match on Elimination Chamber and one title match at Fastlane. Could have done Roman and McIntyre. Then you could have done the SmackDown Chamber, which would have been won by Bryan, and he would have faced Roman at Mania, not on the same night. And then, instead of doing 2 World Title Elimination Chamber matches or 2 Men's Chamber matches, you could have done the SmackDown Men's Chamber, and then you could have done a Raw Women's Elimination Chamber. You could have done Charlotte, Naomi, Shayna, Nia, Alexa, and then a mystery opponent who would turn out to be Rhea Ripley, and then Rhea Ripley could have won, and Rhea Ripley could have gone on to face Asuka at WrestleMania. You could have done a Raw Women's Elimination Chamber and made the Raw Women's title feel important. Bianca would have chosen Sasha. You could have made the Raw Women's title feel important because the Raw Women's title, that hasn't felt important since Asuka and Sasha Banks' title match all the way back at SummerSlam of 2020. Literally, the Raw Women's Championship feels just as worthless as the 24/7 Championship. This title reign that Asuka's been having has been jack shit. Now, I'm not complaining that the match with Lacey Evans is not happening. I mean, the less of Lacey Evans we see, the better. But still, why didn't you do a Raw Women's Elimination Chamber and give a spotlight to the fucking Raw Women's Championship? Make that feel important. If you weren't going to do that, and you elected to have Edge prolong his decision, which obviously is not drawing any ratings and not sparking up any interest, why the fuck didn't you just have Roman defend the title inside the chamber? That way, it would have worked out a hell of a lot better. It would have made a lot more sense instead of having Roman defend the title against the winner of the chamber on the fucking same night. Speaking of reigns. The Wrestling Observer newsletter actually reported that Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns is something that is being considered. Now, the match isn't happening this year at WrestleMania, but the idea of 2 Paul Heyman guys squaring off is something that the company is interested in. Notice the ending line, something that the company is interested in. Because again, you know, they're booking for an audience of 1, which is Vince McMahon. And then, of course, you got the guy with the face as red as a baboon's ass. The guy that has a gut that looks like he ordered the entire left side of the menu from White Castle. Of course, I'm talking about Bruce Pritchard. Shout out to Hibiki for that joke, which is, of course, on the rundown for Elimination Chamber if you want to check it in the description after the stream is over. But I don't understand why this is even in discussion. Whether it's taking place at this year's WrestleMania or next year's WrestleMania, how many times have we seen Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns in a one-on-one match? We've seen this match at 4 different pay-per-views, and only one of those matches turned out to be a decent match, and that was the WrestleMania match all the way back at WrestleMania 31. Outside of that match, every single one-on-one match that Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns has had has been jack shit. So why should we care about this match, considering the track record, regardless of what type of character Reigns is playing? It's the same shit with Bray Wyatt and The Fiend. Why should we care about the match with Randy Orton at this year's WrestleMania after the shit WrestleMania match that we got all those years back at WrestleMania 33? You take a look at the history of Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, they are 1 for 4 when it comes to producing good matches. Some of it is their fault, some of them is not. But at this rate, it's going to be very, very hard for anyone to care because who's the babyface, who's the heel? Reigns is a mega heel. Is Brock Lesnar going to be the babyface? He sure as hell don't fucking look like a babyface to me. Brock Lesnar's a fucking heel. I'm actually more interested in seeing The Rock versus Roman Reigns, whether it be for the title or not. that match is actually much more intriguing than Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, because A, we've never seen it, it's fresh, and on top of that, Reigns with this new heel character. I can imagine that the promos between Roman and The Rock with this new heel character that Roman's playing, I can see those being some of the best promos of Roman Reigns' career. You can imagine him ripping up the fucking Rock on the microphone with this new heel gimmick. Tribal Chief, I'm the fucking head of the family now, Dwayne. That match is much more intriguing than Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. Just pointing that out there. My final report, and this is a big one. This actually concerns a lot of material. Slam Wrestling reported last week that Sammy Guevara got himself backstage heat over an Impact Wrestling angle. Now, I waited. I didn't just jump on it. I waited because I wanted to make sure. That I got all information when it came to this report. I didn't just want to report something and then something came out the following day and I need to report a follow-up video. I wanted to make sure I got all of the scoops, and I did. So I waited and I took down as much information on this situation as possible. So Guevara, he got himself backstage heat. The report stated, and I quote, according to a source with knowledge of the situation, AEW star Sammy Guevara has landed in hot water with AEW over an Impact angle. AEW owner Tony Khan is not pleased with Guevara after he voiced complaints about a planned storyline which would have brought Guevara into the ongoing interpromotional angle with Impact Wrestling. The report went into detail about how Guevara factored into Impact Wrestling's plans. It stated, and I quote, the source reports to Slam Wrestling that after this Wednesday's episode of AEW Dynamite, which saw Guevara quit the Inner Circle faction, Chris Jericho floated the idea of Guevara appearing on Impact. He pitched the idea to Khan, who contacted Impact about writing Guevara into an angle at the last minute. Impact's first take on things was rejected, but a second idea was given the green light by Khan. End quote. Sammy messaged Impact directly, voicing his complaints, which sparked off a controversial chain of events. The report continued by stating, and I quote, plans were made to shoot the angle the next day, but Impact received a message directly from Guevara complaining about the creative direction. Impact, in turn, contacted Khan and Chris Jericho with this news. Jericho reached out to Impact Vice President Don Callis about banning Guevara from Impact's premises. End quote. Jericho then texted Guevara after he had landed in Nashville. On top of that, AEW officials became concerned about the interpromotional relationship and how it would have been affected. The report finished up by stating, and I quote, by the time Guevara arrived in Nashville for the tapings, he received a message from Jericho advising him to return home and not head to Impact's shooting location. After all is said and done and the smoke is cleared, AEW management is apparently concerned that Guevara's actions may have possibly hurt their relationship with Impact Wrestling. PW Insider then followed up with this report and the concerns of the interpromotional relationship being fractured. PW Insider stated that the relationship between two promotions is golden, quote unquote, golden, and there are not problems within Impact. Now, Meltzer followed up with two reports. Number one, Meltzer stated that things are all good on AEW's end, so the relationship is not in jeopardy. But he also followed up. He also followed up with a report a few days ago stating how Sammy was actually in hot water because he actually pitched a storyline to Impact. He pitched a storyline to Impact of him winning the X Division Championship. He would then take it to Dynamite and never lose it. And then a tournament would be set to crown a new champion, but Impact did not like that idea. So there was a lot to go into this report. There was a lot to talk about. But as far as everything goes, it seems as though everything is smoothed over. It seems as though the relationship between AEW and Impact is not going to be affected, which is good. I don't know what else could be in store. I don't really know what else could be in store for Impact and AEW, but I'm going to keep you updated. It is an interesting scenario. I don't know whether or not this has any validity to it. If that's the case, I'm not really sure I would be liking Sammy Guevara winning the X Division Championship. I don't really think it's needed. But what I think should be done right now is focusing on Sammy and MJF. I can absolutely see Sammy Guevara still costing MJF and Chris Jericho the AEW World Tag Team titles at the Revolution pay-per-view. And then that would set up Sammy Guevara versus MJF. Sammy Guevara, I'm not really sure what's going on backstage, but we'll see what happens. I'll keep you guys updated. I don't really know how to feel about this. I'm not really sure how to attack this. I'm not really sure how to dissect this. All that I know is that apparently the relationship between AEW and Impact is okay. I'm not a fan of Sammy pitching himself to win the X Division title. That's not needed. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens there, but as far as I'm concerned, the relationship is fine, and everything seems to have smoothed over. I would continue to go forth with Sammy and MJF and build that storyline. Other than that, that is all the news and rumors that I have for you for the Lightning Flash update. We are going to check the chat. Big Fight Feel and Earl Cole. Big Fight Feel and Earl Cole are in the chat. Peanuts is in the chat. Dee Furious Nation. We got Adam as well. We got Rob Wells Jr. People are loading up here into the chat. Thank you for joining, everyone. Great to see you, Mr. Earl Cole. And Earl, you are correct. WWE should start following my creative direction, and if they did, their shows would be a hell of a lot fucking better. Big Fight Feel, thank you for coming. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to hit that like button. We are at 18 likes. But the goal is 40. 40 likes, people. I need you guys to do your jobs. 40 likes is the goal. We need to get people in here. We only got 9 people watching. You see, that's not right. There were 19 people watching yesterday. We need some more people in the chat right now. And looks like we just got another like. We got 19 likes. That's what I like to see. 19 likes. We are very close. We're very, very close to 20. We just need one more, and then we'll be halfway to 40. So, guys, if you haven't already done so, please make sure you hit the like button when you come in and you're sharing the stream out, because we got a lot more material to dissect, and we are going to get into Monday Night Raw. We are going to get into Monday Night Raw in just a little bit. Let me share out the stream. Let me get the stream out there. No, don't do that. Gonna get the stream out there because we're trying to get to 40 likes. Thank you very much for watching the stream yesterday, Mr. Joseph Conlon. I greatly appreciate you. Where is... Let me see if I can get Liam Robinson in here. Liam Robinson. Where is he? There you go. Get Liam Robinson in here. There you go. You already know. Support the DJ Storms brand. You already know. You know. Huh? You already know. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. There you go. 20 likes. That's what I'm talking about. We are halfway there. We are halfway there. That is what I am talking about. That is what I like to see. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And we are going to get into Monday Night Raw. I'm going to check the chat after I am done reviewing Monday Night Raw, so please just hang tight. Do not go anywhere. Keep the chat alive. Let's dissect Monday Night Raw, which was fucking terrible, as per usual. So Monday Night Raw kicked off with The Miz. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Kicked off with The Miz and Miz TV. He introduced Drew McIntyre. Drew came out. Miz ran back Sheamus' betrayal on Drew. He said the mystery was solved when Sheamus challenged Drew for the WWE Championship, but WWE management had different plans. He rambled on like the fucking idiot that he is. McIntyre screamed, "Would you please shut the hell up? I'm warning you, I'm going to speak and you interrupt me one more time, you're going to regret it." So Miz did interrupt. McIntyre headbutted the Miz and he tossed the briefcase up the stage. That was that. Miz then took the mic and he said, "A little bit of Elimination Chamber pressure, but how can you blame Andy?" He kept on calling fucking Drew Andy throughout this entire fucking segment. Miz said, "I don't have any pressure. I'm bringing that pressure in the form of the Money in the Bank contract. I only need one thing to go right. I'm thinking on a completely different level, and I want every single superstar to be on notice, to hear my footsteps. I am in control. Whether it's the WWE or Universal Championship, I will be standing here, champion, content being awesome. Edge wants to talk high stakes poker. Here's a move. I'm removing myself from the Elimination Chamber match." Now, the promo that Miz cut after he got headbutted by Drew, when he's serious, the Miz cuts a pretty decent promo. When he's serious, the Miz cuts a pretty decent promo. But, again, how can anyone fucking take what the Miz says seriously? How can anyone take what the Miz says seriously? The guy has had undoubtedly the worst year out of anyone in the last year. Not named Keith Lee or Matt Riddle or Angel Garza or anyone. The guy was at the top of his game. Well, if we're going to be quite honest, the guy's had a shit 2 years now. 2019 was a shit year for The Miz too. The Miz has not felt important since 2018. Miz has not felt important since 2018, but I'm glad that The Miz is out of the chamber because he didn't need to be there. He already had the Money in the Bank briefcase. There's no reason for The Miz to be there when he has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, I don't know why they decided to remove The Miz now. They must have just realized, oh shit, The Miz has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Why the fuck is he in the chamber? I'm not sure what happened there, but regardless of that, I'm glad that The Miz is not in the chamber. That makes sense because he has the Money in the Bank briefcase. Now, the way that they went about it in choosing his replacement was absolutely fucking lazy. We'll get to that. We had Matt Riddle and the Lucha House Party. They took on the Hurt Business, which I actually got some news on MVP. Apparently, MVP might have legitimately blown out his knee. And that limping that he was doing in the match, that was not selling. He legitimately blew out his knee. Now, he finished the match, which was Beast of MVP. But I think it's about time that MVP stops wrestling and he focuses on being the manager, the mouthpiece, Peeth. I sound like fucking Jake Hager. Speech impediment. The mouthpiece, excuse me, not Peeth, peace. I think it's about time that MVP retired and focuses on being the mouthpiece of the Hurt Business. But I do hope that MVP is okay. So the Hurt Business remained in control before Metalik was isolated. He had a back roll through tornado DDT by Metalik. He had the hot tag to Riddle. He lit up everyone. We had a Broton and a PK to Cedric. MVP. Can't fucking speak today. MVP tagged in. He looked like his knee was legitimately bothering him, and it was confirmed that he legitimately did blow out his knee. So everyone was taking out everyone. Riddle hit the final flash in the floating bro for the win on MVP. Thankfully, Cedric and Shelton were not beaten. And then afterwards, Lashley took out the Lucha House Party, and then he locked in the Hurt Lock on Matt Riddle and flung him around like a rag doll. But yeah, we want to believe, you want me to believe that Matt Riddle has one iota of a chance of walking out of Elimination Chamber the United States champion. How many fucking times have we seen Matt Riddle get decimated by Bobby Lashley week in and week out? What is this, like the 8th time? What is this, the 8th time in 7 weeks that Matt Riddle has been completely emasculated by Bobby Lashley? I mean, come on. Was this even necessary? Was it necessary to have Matt Riddle again get ragdolled and taken out by Bobby Lashley? Was it necessary? The answer is no, it wasn't necessary. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, Bad Bunny, the guy that is in a WrestleMania match before the WWE champion, Bad Bunny. So, Bad Bunny and Damian Priest were being interviewed. Akira Tozawa won the 24/7 title from R-Truth. Priest then attacked Tozawa, sent him into some production crates, and Bad Bunny pinned Tozawa to win the 24/7 title. Bad Bunny's 24/7 champion. It's really gonna drive up those ratings. My God, I can already hear the excitement in everyone's voice. Oh my God, I can't wait to watch Monday Night Raw to see Bad Bunny defend the 24/7 championship. So, Adam Pearce, he made a match later on between Kofi Kingston and The Miz. If Kofi won, Kofi was in the chamber. If The Miz won, then John Morrison was in the chamber. Oh my God, that's such riveting television. Such riveting television, Bruce Pritchard. Charlotte Flair and Asuka versus Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce. I did not even pay attention to this match. All that I know is Peyton tagged in Lacey. She took the mic and she said, "I'm pregnant." Lacey Evans, and she's legitimately pregnant, by the way. She's legitimately pregnant. Ric Flair was strutting, doing the chest pat, saying woo. And apparently, I said this on the rundown for Elimination Chamber yesterday, apparently, WWE is looking to keep Lacey Evans on television for a few weeks and play off the child as Ric Flair's child, but she's legitimately pregnant with her husband's second child, but they want to play it off as Ric Flair's child. I'm going to tweet this out. I tweeted this out. Where is it written in the wrestling rule book? Where is it written in the wrestling rulebook that you need to play off a real-life storyline and use it in an on-screen storyline? One of the worst on-screen storylines at that, between Lacey Evans and Charlotte Flair. Now, I'm not going to complain because the Raw Women's title match tomorrow, that ain't happening, thank Christ. Lacey Evans not on a pay-per-view. That makes the pay-per-view better. But you know what this means. We're going to get Charlotte and Asuka at WrestleMania, which was my prediction from the beginning, whether or not Lacey Evans got knocked up by her husband or not. Kofi Kingston versus The Miz. This was an Elimination Chamber qualifying match. So Kofi won with the Trouble in Paradise. I don't care. Kofi's in the chamber. Because it's a chamber of all former WWE champions. Oh, by the way, I actually forgot to mention this. I legitimately forgot to mention this because this is how much I don't care. I did not even take 3 pages of notes. I did not even take 3 pages of notes on Monday Night Raw. Not even 3 pages. I did not even take 3 pages of notes on Monday Night Raw. That's how much I didn't care about the show. I didn't even mention the code that we live by. I completely glossed over this. We live by a code here. We live by a few codes here on the channel. And the number 1 code overall, you already know I'm going to say, fuck Charlotte Flair. Fuck Charlotte Flair. And all of her supporters. They are all brain-dead retards. And I rolled my R's on the retard to give it a little bit of a regal flair. No pun intended there. Fucking rhyming left and right. Eminem, eat your heart out. Fuck Charlotte Flair. Fuck Charlotte Flair. And all of her supporters. If I can get a fuck Charlotte Flair in the chat, I would love that. Kofi's in the Elimination Chamber. Who cares? Alexa Bliss interrupted a Randy Orton promo. She was sitting in a Devil Star. She was sitting in a Devil Star, a red-painted Devil Star with a satanic star with candles at each end of the corner. And she was saying that he'll be reborn. She started laughing, and that was that. We had Lana. Now, Lana, who's getting more TV time than Ricochet. Lana versus Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler won with Karafuda clutch, thank Christ. Then we had the gauntlet match. And WWE completely running this shit into the fucking ground. WWE running the gauntlet match stipulation into the fucking ground with the Elimination Chamber. Where is it written in the rulebook that you need to have a fucking gauntlet match to determine who's going to enter the chamber last? Why do we need that? And on top of that, why is Drew McIntyre in a match and why did he lose? Why are you constantly putting champions in a position in which they can lose? I don't understand. What is your fetish? What the fuck is your fetish with pinning champions and making them look weak? I don't give a shit what McIntyre went through in this gauntlet match. Champions should not be losing. So Styles and Kofi kicked off the match. Decent back and forth between the two. Really wasn't anything all that special. The ref ejected Omos when Omos actually chokeslammed Xavier Woods over the barricade. We had a phenomenal forearm and AJ Styles advanced. Drew came out next. It was all business. Drew and Styles had a nice back and forth. Drew won with the Claymore. He advanced. Out came Hardy. And I'm not going to lie, I actually enjoyed the back and forth. I enjoyed the back and forth between Drew McIntyre and Jeff Hardy. I'm not going to lie. Matter of fact, if they wanted to, I really wouldn't mind if they do Drew McIntyre and Jeff Hardy as a post-WrestleMania program for Drew McIntyre. Hell, I wouldn't mind Jeff Hardy versus Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania, seeming that they're going to do Edge and fucking Roman. I wouldn't mind Drew McIntyre and Jeff Hardy at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. I actually enjoyed the back and forth between them. So, they went back and forth. Future Shock DDT by Drew McIntyre for a 2. Drew with the suplex to Hardy on the floor. That got a 2 count. We had a superplex by Drew, but Hardy kicked out. Hardy hit the twist of fate. He went up for the Swanton Bomb, but Drew McIntyre got the knees up, hit the Claymore, and Drew advanced. Orton came out next. Coming back from commercial, they were brawling on the outside. Alexa Bliss making the fucking lights go out. And she caused Orton to get counted out. So Randy Orton looked like a fucking idiot. Sheamus then came out, attacked Drew McIntyre from behind. Sheamus won with the bro kick. He pinned the WWE Champion. Sheamus is entering the Elimination Chamber last. I don't even give a shit. I don't even give a shit about if that match was a good match or not. Why did that match need to happen? Why did we need to watch that match? Why did we need to see Drew McIntyre go through all of that just to fucking lose? I don't get it. It is completely mind-boggling to me. It is mind-boggling to me that WWE constantly does this shit to make their champions look weak. This entire show was a waste of time. This may have been perhaps the worst build towards the Elimination. Well, maybe second worst build. I mean, last year's build towards the Elimination Chamber, my fucking God, last year's build towards the Elimination Chamber was jack shit. My God. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know. I really don't know anymore. I really don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. I really don't know how to approach this. I really don't know why we constantly sit here and we are subjected to shit. I don't know. But that's your Monday Night Raw review. I don't give a single shit about the Chamber. This was a complete waste of time. I don't even want to be here. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to act like it exists. I don't even want to fucking watch the show. I don't even want to watch the show. And the only reason why I'm watching the show is because of the simple fact that you all find it entertaining, the fact that I get so fucking pissed off at the show. 2.5 pages of notes. I usually take about 6 pages of notes. I didn't even take 3 pages of notes on this show. Let's check the chat, and then we're going to move on. We're going to talk about the first round of the Women's World Title Eliminator Tournament. The Japanese side, by the way. I did watch it. Big boy Johnny, how you doing? Thank you for coming. Earl Cole knows the drill. What are you doing, WWE? I don't even know, dude. WWE doesn't even know what they're doing. WWE doesn't even know what they fucking want to do. We're at 21 likes. 21 likes. That is fucking excellent. 21 likes. That is fucking excellent. If you guys can get me to 30 likes within the next hour, I would greatly, greatly appreciate that. We're trying to get to 40 likes. That is the goal here. I'm a little disappointed that we're not at 30 likes yet, but you guys know what to do there. I know that all of you are going to share it out. Share it out right now. Share it out. Make sure everybody knows that DJ Storms is live. So, we're going to talk about the AEW Women's World Title Eliminator Tournament. This was the first round of the Japanese side. It is on YouTube. So, the first round was Yuka Sakazaki versus Mei Suruga. Now, this was a first-round matchup. Yuka Sakazaki, let me tell you something. Yuka Sakazaki's very good. Yuka Sakazaki's very good. I actually enjoy watching Yuka Sakazaki. Mei Suruga, not so much. I don't know what was going on here, but Mei Suruga, she's young. She's young. She does not have very much experience, and that played a factor into this match. She did not have very believable offense. Her offense was not believable. Her offense was actually kind of weak. Her offense was kind of sloppy at times. I actually prefer Riho over Mei Suruga. Riho is actually more believable than Mei Suruga. We had Suruga with a modified Muda lock. She locked the arms as well. Yuka was able to get to the rope. Very technical based. It's actually quite boring in the beginning. Yuka with a brain buster. Suruga with a series of roll-ups. She couldn't get the job done. Yuka with a springboard 450 splash, which looked very good. Springboard 450 splash for the win. Suruga's not very good. She is not believable. Not a very good opening round matchup. Yuka clearly was the better wrestler out of the two. Yuka won with the springboard 450. Yuka advances, rightfully so. Rightfully so. I just didn't get a good vibe from this match. It was just very, very sloppy at times. Mei Suruga, like I said, she's just not very good. Not very good. The lack of experience played a big factor into that, but Yuka Sakazaki advances as she should. Yuka Sakazaki is moving on to the semi-finals of the Japanese side of the Women's World Title Eliminator. We then had Veni versus Emi Sakura in a first-round matchup. And talk about a complete 180 from the first match. This match was probably the best match of the first round on the Japanese side. This match was very, very good. This match was very good. Veni, let me tell you something. I did not expect anything from Veni, but Veni completely blew me away. She fought in this match like she was actually fighting for the Women's World Championship. Emi Sakura, she was not very good the last time we saw her, but right here, Emi Sakura was actually very, very good. Her and Veni actually matched up very well. This match was very good. This was the best match of the entire first round side of the Japanese World Title Eliminator. This was the best match of the tournament on the Japanese side thus far. Veni's very, very good. I really do want to see more of Veni. So, Emi Sakura was in control early. Veni with a back handspring, a diving crossbody, and an Orihara moonsault to the floor. She does a better moonsault than Charlotte Flair, just pointing it out there. Fuck Charlotte Flair. Sakura with a swanton bomb off the middle rope and a butterfly backbreaker. Veni with a rolling palm strike. Veni's actually very fluid in the ring. I really got to say, she impressed the fuck out of me. We had a springboard headlock takedown from the top and a running shooting star press. So she's doing moves like Ricochet is Veni. Sakura with a Vader bomb. She went for a second one, but Veni countered the second Vader bomb. We then had a modified Fujiwara armbar by Veni, but Sakura was able to get to the ropes. Veni with some swift kicks, but Sakura kicked out of a roundhouse kick. She then hit the Angel's Wings on Sakura, or by Sakura. Sakura hit the Angel's Wings on Veni. Strikes are being traded back and forth between the two. Veni then with some vicious kicks and a missile drop kick, but Sakura still kicked out. Back and forth roll-ups. We had a spinning heel kick by Veni and a sit-out choke bomb, but Sakura still kicked out. Veni missed the moonsault. Then she was locked in a dragon sleeper. Sakura then hit the tiger driver, and Sakura advances in a very, very good match. Veni, like I said, impressed the fuck out of me. I'm actually kind of pissed that Veni didn't advance, because I actually really like what Veni's all about. She's a damn good fucking wrestler. We then had Maki Ito versus Ryo Mizunami. Another first-round matchup. Maki Ito did a kawaii performance. She must have been a singer back in the day. She did a performance before the match. She could sing. It was cringe, but she can sing. Mizunami then came out. She was chopping She was chopping Ito hard. There were then she was like doing these theatrical shit. Like for one thing, this match, way too many fucking theatrics in this match. Way too. I understand like if a crowd is there and you want to play up to the crowd. Well, first off, the visual of like this warehouse that they were wrestling in, it was not visually pleasing. That's number one. Number two, why are there so many fucking theatrics? There's no crowd there. How are you going to do theatrics and do all this hand waving motion like you're fucking playing Dragon Ball Z Kai and shit? Why are you gonna do all that shit when there's no audience? If an audience was there, maybe I would get it because you could play up to the crowd and make it entertaining, but there's no fucking audience there. What with all this fucking theatric shit? I mean, what are you doing? You fucking conjuring? Do you have unless you have actual mystical powers and you're gonna fire a fucking fireball from your hand? Stop with the fucking theatrics. Secondly, there are way too many kawaii, bubbly, happy-go-lucky gimmicks on this Japanese side. Mei Suruga and Maki Ito, not believable whatsoever. Not believable whatsoever. I don't know where it's coming from. I don't even give a shit if that is big in Japan. I really don't even give a shit. I don't give a shit if that is big in Japan or not. I don't. You are in a tournament to determine the number one contender for the women's championship at one of the biggest shows all year. Take it seriously. Because if you're not going to take it seriously, then I'm not going to take it seriously. The wrestling itself wasn't bad. There was just way too many fucking theatrics, Dragon Ball Z Kai shit. Too much bubbly, happy-go-lucky shit. Maki Ito ain't it. I'm sorry. Now, Mizunami, she's actually very good. I don't really see her going far, but she's a pretty damn good wrestler. She's intense. I like that about her. We had a big jumping DDT by Ito and a swinging tornado DDT. That got a 2 count. Ito went up to the top rope. Mizunami dodged it. Mizunami hit a spear. But Ito kicked out. Back and forth counters. Then Ito was locked in a head and arm triangle choke. And Mizunami won. Mizunami advances to the semifinals of the Japanese side of the bracket. Then we had Aja Kong versus Rin Karakura. Rin Karakura didn't look half bad here. Karakura actually looked fairly decent at times in this match, so I actually was hoping that Rin would have advanced. So Kong with the lariat. Kong was unfazed by Karakura. Karakura fought back, hit a jumping DDT and a hesitation dropkick, a diving missile dropkick. She went for the cover, but Kong grabbed the ropes. Kong was then ripped down off the middle rope. We had a tornado DDT and a cannonball, a Kevin Owens-esque cannonball in the corner. We then had Rin Karakura going for a floating bro from the top. She missed it. We had a backdrop driver, but Karakura kicked out. Karakura kept fighting, but Kong hit a falling elbow drop from the top, and Aja Kong advances to the next round to face Riho Mizunami. And that was pretty much that. So, it was kind of if I'm going to be quite honest with you. The first side of the Japanese bracket was kind of The American side obviously has been better. There's way too much kawaii shit, too many theatrics on the Japanese side. Veni and Emi Sakura absolutely fucking stole the show. That was fucking great. And that was the first round of the women's World Title Eliminator on the Japanese side. Let's check the chat before we move into AEW Dark. And AEW Dark was actually fairly quick. That was fairly quick. That was in and out. It was only an hour and 7 minutes. I appreciate that. It was still 12 fucking matches, but it was only an hour and 7 minutes. Now, all you need to do is reduce it from 12 matches to 6 matches, and we're good. So, thank you again, everyone, for joining. We're going to talk about Dynamite, Mr. Earl Cole. Hang in there. But yes, Veni versus Emi Sakura, very good match. Rant mode was definitely activated. And Dragon Ball Z Kai. Dragon Ball Z Kai. Ooh. That's all I see on the Japanese side. There's no crowd. Why are you doing all these fucking theatrics? Dragon Ball Z Kai. Danielle, Didi, I'm not dabbing. I'm not dabbing. You got a dab last week, you ain't getting a dab this week. And if you face me in a match, I mean, come on, I'm DJ motherfucking Storms. You think you can beat me? You think you can best DJ Storms? I don't think so. I don't think so. So, let us talk about, actually, let's just skim through AEW Dark. It was really just an hour of enhancement matches. Jon Moxley took on John Cruz. Guillotine choke, John Cruz passed out. Bear Country took on Chaos Project. Bear Country won with the assisted splash. I'm actually liking what Bear Country's doing. Jake St. Patrick and Sage Scott took on the Butcher and the Blade. Butcher and the Blade absolutely destroyed these guys. Neckbreaker powerbomb combo for the win. Renee Michelle took on Shanna. Shanna is looking really good. I'm liking what Shanna's doing. Shanna won. Eric James and VSK versus John Silver and Alex Reynolds. The jumping, flipping DDT. Dark Order get the win. Baron Black and John Skyler versus Jurassic Express. We have the back suplex powerbomb in seconds. Seconds for the win. Vert Vixen versus Ty Conti. Conti with some vicious fucking V-triggers. And she won with the modified Lotus Lock. Vert Vixen taps out. I'm loving fucking Ty Conti. Aaron Solo versus Eddie Kingston. Kingston was dissecting Solo. Kingston won with the spinning back fist. KC Navarro versus Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks with the spear in 5 seconds for the win. Mysterioso versus Brandon Cutler. Very fast-paced action. Cutler ended up winning with the springboard elbow. Ryzen got taken out by Powerhouse Hobbs with the Oklahoma Stampede. And then Fuego del Sol got beaten by Nick Camarado with a military press power slam. And that was AEW Dark for you. Very, very happy that it was only an hour and 7 minutes, but now you need to reduce it. Let's go from 12 enhancement matches to about 5 or 6 competitive matches. I think that would be a much better route to go for AEW Dark. Okay? Everyone's dabbing. Peanuts is dabbing. Dee Dee's dabbing. But we're still only at 21 likes. You see, that's a problem. Why are we still only at 21 likes? That is a big, big problem. We need to get to 40 likes. But in order to get to 40 likes, I need you to share it out. And I need you to make sure everybody knows DJ Storms is live. I don't know why. I really don't know why we still only have 21 likes. Oh yeah, I know. Aaron Solo is clearly Aaron Solo is engaged to Bayley. Clearly. Aaron Solo, you know, he's getting him some. Aaron Solo's definitely getting him some. Anyway, we are going to move on to AEW Dynamite. And I want you to continue to get as many people in here as possible. We're at 21 likes. The goal is 40. The goal is 40. So, AEW Dynamite was actually very good. AEW Dynamite was very good. AEW Dynamite had some really good material. AEW Dynamite was a very stellar show. We kicked off the show with Adam Hangman Page and Matt Hardy versus the Hybrid 2. This was a very, very standard match. Really nothing too crazy. Very standard in and out match. Only went about 6 minutes. Hybrid 2 lose. We had a buckshot lariat, a double buckshot lariat, and the twist of fate by Matt Hardy. So Hardy took the mic. And he praised Adam Hangman Page. He said, "You look like $1 million." He praised Page for signing with him. But Page, he's like, whoa, wait a minute, Matt. Wait. You see, Matt, you should always keep an extra set of papers in your jacket. So Matt, you didn't read the contract. So Matt ended up signing a contract not to earn 30% of Adam Hangman Page's earnings, but instead he signed a match for Revolution, and if Matt loses, Page gets 100% of Matt's earnings for the first quarter of 2021. Matt then challenged Page to put up his earnings. Matt then screwed Page over, and we actually had Isaiah Cassidy in the what's the fucking name of the Jacksonville Jaguars mascot? Whatever. The Jacksonville Jaguars mascot, it was Isaiah Cassidy. So Isaiah Cassidy and the Hybrid 2 and Matt Hardy, they swarmed Adam Hangman Page. So we get the match for Revolution, which should be great. We then had the Dark Order coming out to assist Adam Hangman Page, and Page ended up standing tall. So I knew this was going to happen. I knew that some way, shape, or form we were going to get Matt Hardy versus Adam Hangman Page, because this is an interim program. Adam Hangman Page at All Out in September, Adam Hangman Page is your next world champion. Adam Hangman Page is your next world champion. Adam Hangman Page is going to win the world championship. But in the meantime, you need to build him up through actual wins. You need to build him up in interim programs. And hey, if you want to, put him against Matt Hardy. And Adam Hangman Page, he's going to beat Matt Hardy. And Adam Hangman Page is going to gain some momentum going into the rest of 2021. Simple. This was an interim program because the storyline with the Dark Order, that was going to result in a match with Brody before his eventual passing, which was unfortunate. God rest his soul. Now, they're doing a match with Matt Hardy and Mr. Adam Hangman Page, which I have absolutely no problem with. But it's interesting that the Dark Order is still involved with Page. I'm going to keep an eye out for that. Does Page end up joining the Dark Order? Maybe. We'll see what happens there. So we went from that, which I had no problem with. We got a match set for Revolution. Page and Hardy. That should be a very interesting matchup. I'm actually interested in seeing what they can do. We then went from that to Serena Deeb versus Riho. First round women's world title eliminator matchup. And I'm going to be quite honest here. This was probably the best overall match of the show. This was probably the best overall match of the night. And this is 3 weeks in a row now. That the women of AEW have produced some damn good fucking matches, if you think about it. You did it with Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker. You did it with Layla Hirsch and Thunder Rosa. And now you did it here with Serena Deeb and Riho. So the women's division slightly is improving. The women's division has slightly gone up in quality. These last 3 weeks, we've had 3 damn good women's matches on Dynamite. So you can see the improvement is there. They're trying to get better. And this World Title Eliminator, I'm actually enjoying this World Title Eliminator. This tournament's much better than the fucking Deadly Draw. Much better than the Deadly Draw. Much better. But this match itself, Riho and Serena Deeb, this was an excellent match. An excellent women's match. So Deeb took over control with the guillotine on the ropes. Riho targeted the injured knee of Serena Deeb, which had a knee brace on, so that was the target of this match. Riho with a Snapdragon suplex, head scissor takedown, and a rising knee for a 2. Serena's leg gave out on her. Riho hit a diving crossbody, but Serena rolled through and she targeted the leg of Riho. She tried to gain the upper advantage on Riho by cutting out one of her legs, which was smart. We had a dragon screw in the corner and a swinging neck breaker by Deeb for a 2. Riho hit a 619, a double foot stomp to the back, and a crossbody for a 2. Deeb with a powerbomb and a stretch muffler. Riho got a roll-up for a 2. She had a Northern Light suplex for a 2. Riho with a diving foot stomp, but Deeb still kicked out. Deeb and Riho with back and forth roll-ups, roll-up for roll-up, roll-up for roll-up, and Riho eventually got the win. Riho got the 1-2-3 on Serena Deeb, and Riho advances in the Women's World Title Eliminator Tournament. This was a great match. Not really the biggest advocate for Riho because they haven't really given us a reason to really care about Riho, but that doesn't mean that she is a bad wrestler. She's actually a very good wrestler. And Riho being back, you know, she can damn sure perform. She can damn sure perform. And if anything, Riho is going to add some value to this division. And again, this is 3 weeks in a row now that we've seen some damn good women's wrestling on the show. And this is a damn good match here between Riho and Serena Deeb. Damn good match right here. Very, very good match. Riho advances. Rio's facing Thunder Rosa. This is going to be an interesting match. Orange Cassidy versus Luther. I understand your concerns. No one fucking likes Luther. Everyone just wants to be done with fucking Luther. But this was quick. This was painless. Chuck Taylor took out Serpentico with the awful waffle. Orange Cassidy hit the orange punch on Luther in 2 minutes for the win. Quick, painless, in and out. At this rate, we're just waiting for Orange Cassidy and Miro to be announced for Revolution, which is going to be a damn good match. Just wait. It's going to be a damn good match. Team Taz. Team Taz came out, and Taz took the microphone, and he says, all we are seeing is Sting is going to call out Team Taz. Now, we down a few men because of snow, so now's your chance. Where is the Stinger? So Sting's music hit. Sting then came out with a bat. He entered the ring. Taz said, shut the music. So you need that bat because without that bat, you're done. So in came Sting. He tossed the bat away, and he took his jacket off. He goes like, okay, you want to be a tough guy now. So he went right after Cage. Hook tried to get involved. And out of nowhere, Cage with a kick to the gut, and Cage powerbombed Sting, and Sting sold it like he was paralyzed. And I'm going to point this out right now. Sting at 61 years old sells better than Charlotte Flair. Don't fuck it at me. Sting at 61 years old sells better than Charlotte Flair. Don't at me. Now, I think that we all can collectively breathe and collectively relax because Sting took a bump and he was fine. He's fine. Whether the match is cinematic or not, I don't think we have to worry about Sting hurting himself. He took a bump. He took it safely. Cage dropped him on his back. He didn't drop him on his neck. It was completely fine. And at the end of the day, Sting, I think it's safe to say, can hold his own. And Sting is going to be there to put others over in matches, which I can't complain about. So we're going to be headed towards Sting and Darby versus Cage and Starks in the street fight. And I actually, let me run down this. Let me go on Twitter for a minute. There was this fucking moron, this brain dead retard that was coming in, was on my timeline, and this guy over here. So what we got is this guy trying to compare Tully Blanchard and Sting wrestling for AEW with Goldberg and The Undertaker wrestling for WWE. And I'm not even going to mention this guy's name because this guy doesn't deserve the clout that I'm giving him. I'm not even going to mention his name. But here's what I want to tell you. You're complaining because there's a double standard. There is no fucking double standard. We complain about The Undertaker and Goldberg because of the roles that WWE is using them in. The Undertaker legitimately cannot walk. Sting, he can walk just fine. And clearly, Sting can take a bump too. The Undertaker can't do anything because he's got a damaged fucking hip. Two different scenarios. On top of that, Goldberg can't work a match longer than 3 minutes. Goldberg can't work a match longer than 3 minutes, and he buried Owens, and he buried The Fiend's championship title reign, and the entire Fiend character at that. It's all about how you utilize someone. It's all about how you utilize them. If you're utilizing them correctly, and you're utilizing them in a way to enhance others who need it and to put others over, who knows? We could very well see Brian Cage and Ricky Starks win the street fight by pinning Sting. And if that happens, do you realize what that's going to do for Brian Cage and or Ricky Starks by pinning Sting in a street fight? That's going to make them look like beasts. That's going to enhance their star quality and their star power tenfold. That could very well put them in top contention to be fighting for world championships within the next 2 years. And then, when Sting faces Darby beats Sting, that's going to elevate Darby Allin even higher up on the card, so much so, he could be a world champion by the end of 2022. It's all about how you utilize people. There is no double standard. We complain when WWE does it because we know how WWE utilizes their legends. They put the legends at the top of the card fighting for world championships over everybody else, and they fail to make anything else seem important but those legends. They refuse to build up new stars. Meanwhile, AEW is building up new stars through those legends, and they're using those legends to put those new stars over and enhance them. They're building for the future. WWE ain't building for the fucking future. The fact that I even need to explain this just goes to show you how fucking stupid people in the wrestling community really are. Fucking idiots. All of you. Majority of you, at least. I mean, the people in here aren't idiots because you're listening to me. And, of course, the people that listen to me, you will be educated by me because I am the smartest fucking man alive. Nobody can touch me. Moving on. Santana and Ortiz. Santana and Ortiz, Proud and Powerful versus the Young Bucks. This is for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. This was an excellent tag team match. Really nothing more for me to say on that. There were some people that thought that Santana and Ortiz were going to win the titles. No. They were not going to win the titles. They'll be champions. They'll be champions, but not now. Not now. They'll be champions, but not now. They were going forth with the Young Bucks versus Jericho and MJF because that is the bigger match. That is the bigger match. That is the money match for Revolution. And that is going to be the match where Sammy Guevara could potentially cost Chris Jericho and MJF the World Tag Team Championships. And we're going to build towards Sammy versus MJF one-on-one at a later date. So Rick Knox kicked out the Inner Circle. Nick Jackson was isolated. Nick with a super kick to Ortiz. He tagged in Matt Jackson. He lit up both men. Beautiful twisting cutter on Santana for a 2. We had a modified powerbomb for a 2. Santana with an avalanche Falcon Arrow looked great. But Nick was able to kick out. Ortiz with the Koji clutch on Nick, but Matt was able to hit an elbow drop from the top and save it. We had a Doomsday device by the Young Bucks on Santana. Then we had a Buckle Bomb Enziguri combo, double super kick, but Ortiz saved the match. We had a roll-through double cutter by Santana and taking out the Young Bucks. And then we had the Street Sweeper. This is where I thought that Santana and Ortiz were potentially going to win the titles, but Matt was just able to save it. Just able to save it. Now, from there, Proud and Powerful then powerbombed Matt into the crowd. Nick Jackson was on the inside, and he cradled Ortiz for the shock win, and the Young Bucks retain the World Tag Team titles in an excellent tag team match here with Proud and Powerful. May go down as one of the most underrated programs in AEW so far, Santana and Ortiz versus the Young Bucks. Afterwards, the Inner Circle attacked. Brandon Cutler came out. He got neutralized by Jake Hager. And then Gallows and Anderson got out there just in the nick of time. Don Callis was kind of holding them back a little bit. So there is some tension brewing between the Elite. There's some tension brewing between the Elite. We are definitely looking at the Young Bucks versus the Good Brothers at a later date. Do the Good Brothers win the titles? I don't know. I definitely don't know. It's definitely going to be a story that is going to be tapped into at a later date. Should very well be interesting. From there, we had Matt and Mike Sydal versus FTR. Fun match, a little sloppy at times, but still fun. So FTR was isolating Mike Sydal. Matt then tagged in. We had an assisted Hurricane Rana. Matt lit up both members of FTR. Mike with a big moonsault to the floor. Cash with a vicious uppercut to Matt. We had a powerbomb by Dax. Dragon suplex by Cash. Mike was able to save that. We had a double meteor by Matt. Mike with a sloppy looking splash. Didn't really get all of it. Cash got his foot on the rope. FTR won with the Goodnight Express. FTR got scissors. They were looking to cut Mike's hair, but the lights went out and Jurassic Express returned to save Mike Sydal. They took out FTR, and that was that. Next week, we got Adam Hangman Page versus Orange Cassidy. We also got Team Taz versus the Varsity Blondes. We got Jake Hager versus Brandon Cutler. On March 3rd, we got FTR, which is Cash, Dax, and Tully versus Jurassic Express, 6-man tag. That's on March 3rd. And then at Revolution, this was announced. This is the Face of the Revolution ladder match. So far, it's Cody, Scorpio Sky, and Penta El Cero Miedo. There's going to be 6 participants. Right decision there. All we need is 6. And the winner is going to get a shot at the TNT Championship. And I'm actually calling Pac to win that one. And then in the main event, we had a very good 6-man tag team match between Eddie Kingston, The Butcher, and The Blade, taking on Lance Archer, Rey Fenix, and Jon Moxley. Archer was isolated before he tagged in Phoenix. Phoenix, when he gets going, man. Rey Fenix, when he gets going, fucking fantastic shit. So Phoenix got going. He lit up Eddie Kingston. Big Tope Con Hero to the Blade. Big springboard cutter on the Butcher and a frog splash for a 2. We had an exploder suplex by Kingston Archer came in, ran him over with a big pounce. We had the Butcher taking him out. Moxley got into it. Phoenix took out the Blade. All 6 men were down. Archer chokeslammed Phoenix onto the Butcher and the Blade, and then did a cannonball off the apron, taking out his partner and Butcher and the Blade. Back in the ring, Moxley hit the paradigm shift for the win. Very fun 6-man tag. Afterwards, the Good Brothers came out to attack Jon Moxley. Omega came out, and he says he's in a giving mood. I'm going to give you your contractual rematch at Revolution, but I picked the match. Omega said, I just can't seem to get rid of you. How about an exploding barbed wire death match? And then Omega beat down Moxley, and Omega and the Good Brothers stood tall to end Dynamite. Exploding barbed wire death match, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. This is the picture-perfect way to end the feud. This feud has come full circle. This is long-term storytelling. Omega was attacked by Jon Moxley, and Jon Moxley beat him in a lights-out unsanctioned match. Omega got his win back, and he won the World Championship from Moxley on Dynamite. Now, things are going to come full circle with another crazy-ass match where Jon Moxley and Omega are going to be surrounded by C4s and barbed wire. And a perfect end to their crazy-ass feud. And Kenny Omega is going to retain the World Championship. Very good episode of Dynamite. A few blips here and there, but very good episode of Dynamite overall. Revolution is looking really, really, really good. I'm very much looking forward to AEW Revolution on March 7th. Of course, I will be reviewing it as always. Let us check the chat. Apparently, Adam heard that Zelina Vega was going to debut on Dynamite last Wednesday, and they're going to use her. They could possibly use her as the manager for Santana and Ortiz. Now, that I would not mind. That I definitely would not mind. Don't worry, Dee Dee, there is no tension in here. There is no tension in here. Good Brothers. Yeah, the Good Brothers, they're in the background. We got the Good Brothers in the background. Remember when the Good Brothers were still employed by WWE? This is... Oh, by the way, you remember when Aleister Black was on television? So, what else we got? Only 22 likes. Come on. Only 22? Come on. We need more. Why is it only 22? We should be at 30 likes by now. Where's Ruben? I know Ruben always comes in clutch. So, let me know what you guys think of Dynamite. Let me know what you guys thought of Dynamite. And we are going to get started on NXT. NXT, I expected a little bit better. I'm not saying that it was technically shit. But it just kind of felt flat outside of the Undisputed Era storyline. We did get some decent wrestling here and there, and they are planning ahead. They're setting up some future matches for future episodes of NXT. But outside of the Undisputed Era storyline, it just kind of felt a little flat. Not sitting here saying it was a bad show, but it just kind of felt It just kind of felt there. But Adam Cole, he's on his own tear. We could be looking at Adam Cole being a new version of the classic Tommaso Ciampa from 2018, which we will discuss later on, but NXT. So Kyle O'Reilly walked down to the ring. No theme music. He was very serious. He says, "You all saw what happened at TakeOver. I've been replaying the moment over and over in my head, trying to make sense of it, but I can't. I'm shocked, confused, I'm pissed off, and I'm disappointed. We were supposed to be unlike every other group that came through this business." And I like how he said that. We were supposed to be unlike every other group who came through this business. And you ruined it for all of us. You stabbed me in the back. You're still my brother, so I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I gotta know what that was on Sunday. I need you to explain yourself. And when you're done, I'm probably gonna punch you in the face, but I need to hear it from you. So he called out Adam Cole. Roderick Strong ended up coming out. He says, "We know Adam. Adam did that solely based off of emotion." So Kyle, he actually got pissed. Kyle got pissed. He goes, "Roddy, I don't need you to explain it. I need him to explain it. And you coming out here on this peacekeeping mission is wasting everyone's time, so stop it." He was getting really pissed. Kyle said, "Roddy, don't get in this ring. I don't trust you. I don't even trust myself. I don't need to hear shit from you." Now they bleeped it out. They bleeped it out, but O'Reilly said, "I don't need to hear shit from you." Balor then came out, and Balor goes, you're not looking for me, but I'm looking for you, Kyle. I'm looking for you. Get in line behind me, because me and you, we got a little business we need to address. We all saw what happened, and I knew I shouldn't have taken your hand, but I did. I want some answers. So Strong was trying to keep the peace. Out of nowhere, Dunn, Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch came out. They attacked. Officials tried to separate everyone. Dunn and the tag team champions ended up standing tall. Regal made a 6-man tag team match for later on in the evening. Next week, we got Escobar versus Karrion Kross, which is a terrible fucking idea. If Escobar does not show up, he will be suspended and stripped of the Cruiserweight Championship. So I don't really know why they're doing this match. Like I said, it's a terrible fucking match. It's a waste of time. You don't need to sacrifice Santos Escobar in order to build up Karrion Kross. I've stated this numerous amounts of times. Either way, we get that match next week. But this beginning promo was very good. I like the intensity. I like the emotion. I like what Kyle O'Reilly was doing. I like how they were playing it off. First match of the night, we seen Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell versus Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart. And I will say this. Indy Hartwell, she's still stiff. She's still stiff as shit when it comes to her in-ring work. She's a legitimate combination of Nikki Bella and Jinder Mahal, and you don't want to be compared to either of those two individuals because they're jack shit when it comes to professional wrestling. But I will say this, Indy Hartwell, she's getting slightly better. I will say that. Indy Hartwell's getting slightly better. So Shotzi and Ember, they kept the way at bay. No pun intended on the rhyme there. They kept the way at bay. Indy Hartwell was being dissected. Moon was then booted by Hartwell. Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae then wore down Moon before a white van pulled up in the parking lot. Johnny Gargano was on commentary. Johnny Gargano was on commentary, and he actually went to the van. Shotzi came in, she lit up Indy Hartwell, Moon with a suplex to Candice, spinebuster by Hartwell, and a discus elbow by Shotzi. We had a big clothesline from Indy. Moon with a TKO codebreaker on the Ray for a 2. Gargano then came out with Austin Theory, who was tied up by his hands and feet. He was wearing socks with sandals. He was wearing a fanny pack, and he was in his underwear. So, the prodigal son returned. Candice and Indy looked like fucking idiots. And Ember Moon rolled up Indy Hartwell for the win. Decent match. Candice and Indy looked stupid, but a decent match. So, Dexter Lumis seems to be next in line for Mr. Gargano and the North American Championship, which I would not be opposed to. Dexter Lumis is absolutely the next top-tier star. And when fans come back, I cannot wait to see the reaction that Dexter Lumis is going to be getting when fans are back in attendance. We had Leon Ruff versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. Really wasn't anything. Very standard match. Wasn't bad, but it was just very, very standard. Swerve with a powerbomb backbreaker to Ruff. Swerve tried to wear down Leon Ruff before Ruff hit a forearm and a rebound lariat. Beautiful twisting cutter by Leon Ruff for a 2. Swerve grabbed the rope. Swerve then missed the house call. He got caught with a crucifix bomb, and Ruff got the win. Afterwards, Swerve attacked Leon Ruff, and it looked like Swerve is going to be in an interim program with Leon Ruff. He was saying, "Where's my North American Championship match? You're getting all the opportunities here. Where's my shot?" So it seems as though Swerve, he is going to be built up. Hopefully, I'd like to see Swerve in an interim program, possibly with maybe after Dexter Lumis wins the North American title. Maybe Dexter Lumis wins the North American title and he faces Swerve. I would actually love to see that. So, Swerve, I can only hope that this means better for Swerve, because Swerve, he is way too good just to be wasted away. So hopefully this means better for Swerve. Caden Carter and Casey Catanzaro versus Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea. Of course, my girl Jess in the chat, she loves it when I talk about Casey. Of course, I also love that Casey's on NXT Weekly now. I love that she's on NXT Weekly now. Just to shove it in everyone's face. She can go out and she can do whatever the fuck she wants. WWE don't see it as a problem. So, Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter versus Aaliyah and Jessie Kamea. Boa was on the ramp watching the match from afar, looking like Chinese Terminator. Kamea and Aaliyah, they took over, but they didn't look half bad, actually. I'm not going to lie. They didn't look half bad. But we had a very nice combo, a neck breaker frog splash combo by Casey and Caden for the win. And that was that. Afterwards, Xia Li came down to the ring with Boa. And Casey tried to reason with Xia, so Xia took her hand and marked her hand with black war paint, I believe it was. And she said, "Next week I will punish you." She said, "Next week I will punish you." So it looks like Xia Li is being built up in the interim. In a feud with Casey. So I actually do not mind that. I actually am very intrigued in that. I actually want to see what Xia Li can do in a competitive environment against someone like a Casey Catanzaro. So I'm actually intrigued in this. Beth Phoenix was in the ring. She introduced the Men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic winners, MSK. They were extremely excited, acting like giddy baby faces. They announced that on March 3rd, they will be facing Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch for the NXT Tag Team titles. Yeah, that has nothing to do with AEW, right? That has nothing to do with AEW. That has nothing to do with the fact that Shaq is wrestling on AEW on March 3rd. So now you're going to put a tag team title match on March 3rd, right? All of a sudden, Kai and Raquel, they came out. They were very happy as well. All of a sudden, Shayna and Nia came out. Shayna acting conceited as ever. Shayna said, when you face us, you will be on the wrong side of history. So Kai introduced Raquel Gonzalez to Nia and Shayna. She said Shayna ran away after Rhea beat her ass. Raquel was then, oh, wait a second. Wasn't that the same Rhea Ripley that I beat in a last woman standing match last month? So obviously they're trying to get under each other's skin. Shayna goes, you know what? This is the same old Dakota Kai. This is the same old Dakota Kai, whining, scared, just like when I broke your arm. Kai goes, you know, I'm not the same person I was, but if you want to find out firsthand, I will happily kick your head off. Raquel said, we run this place now. Shayna promised to humiliate them in 2 weeks. And we got a women's tag team title match as well as a NXT tag team title match on March 3rd. Yeah. That ain't because of AEW. Sure. Toni Storm, she attacked Io Shirai during a photo shoot. So apparently, Toni Storm and Io Shirai, just like I predicted, I was right. That program's not finished. Toni Storm's going to be the new NXT Women's Champion. We had Kushida versus Tyler Rust. Tyler Rust is really shining here against major stars in NXT. He shined against Bronson Reed. He shined against Tommaso Ciampa. And here he shined against Kushida. Kushida using his quickness against Rust. Rust tried to take over, but Kushida came back with a basement dropkick. Rust with a necklock suplex and a beautiful scissor kick. Very, very Booker T-like scissor kick by Tyler Rust. Very nice, very nice. So, we had a roundhouse kick to the face for a 2 by Tyler Rust. We had a sleeper hold by Rust, but Kushida was able to fight out of it. Kick to the arm, locked in the hoverboard lock, and Malcolm Bivens, called for the bell. We got a fairly decent match here. Tyler Rust has been holding his own. Kushida gets a win back. Kushida gains momentum back after a loss from TakeOver, which I had no problem with. That's pretty much that. I don't really know where Tyler Rust goes, but Tyler Rust, hey, he's holding his own. So good for Tyler Rust. Zoe Stark versus Valentina Forest. Zoe Stark, let me tell you something. Zoe Stark, she looked damn impressive when I saw her in the Women's Dusty Classic. She looked damn impressive here. Very, very, very good. Very solid, very crisp, very aggressive, too. She hit a sliding knee to Forest, very Nakamura-like. A Nakamura-like sliding knee. Very, very swift. And then she hit a back rotation GTS. Knee right to the face. Looked fucking brutal. I absolutely love what Zoe Stark did here. Very, very aggressive. Very, very intense. I'd give her a few months, and I think Zoe Stark could be a very, very solid hand in the women's division. I'm liking Zoe Stark's. First glance, I like the woman. I think she's damn good. And in the main event, we had Pete Dunne, Oney Lorcan, and Danny Burch versus Finn Balor, Roderick Strong, and Kyle O'Reilly. So, Strong with a tag to O'Reilly. He lit up Burch. Some stiff kicks and a dragon screws galore to everyone. Dragon screws to everyone. O'Reilly tagged in Balor. He lit up Pete Dunne with an Eye of the Hurricane for a 2. Strong then took out Lorcan. Burch with a right hand. Dunne and Balor went back and forth. He had a sling blade. Balor then accidentally drop kicked Dunne. into the ref. And out of nowhere, Adam Cole came in and he shoved Balor into the ref. The ref was taken out again. Cole then hit a punt kick to O'Reilly and then a brainbuster on the steps. Balor then was going to be taken out by Lorcan and Birch. Lorcan and Birch had the NXT Tag Team titles. Strong took him out. Balor Pele kicked Roderick Strong by mistake. Pete Dunne came in out of nowhere with the bitter end, and Pete Dunne pinned the NXT champion. And then after this, which it was a fun match, but at the end of the day, terrible fucking ending. I don't understand why we needed to have Finn Balor lose here. Cole then returned, super kicked Balor, and he held up the NXT title to end the show. Now, there's a lot of moving elements here. And I actually like that there's a lot of moving elements here. Now, what does this mean? Well, they already announced a women's tag team title match and an NXT tag team title match for March 3rd because they need to counter-program AEW because Shaq is wrestling on Dynamite. So you know that the ratings are going to be slightly up. So, at the end of the day, guarantee you they had Pete Dunne pin Finn Balor to get another shot at the NXT title, and they're going to book that match for March 3rd. And they're going to get Finn Balor another interim title defense against Pete Dunne before we eventually get to WrestleMania and Balor defends the title at WrestleMania because they got no one else. They got no other way to build up any other challenger other than having Dunne pin the NXT champion. We're probably going to see Toni Storm and Io Shirai on that show as well. And Toni Storm's probably going to beat Io Shirai. You're going to have a nice four-match lineup, 4 championship matches to try and counter-program the fact that Shaq is wrestling on Dynamite. So, that's why Pete Dunne pinned Finn Balor. Now, Adam Cole has made it clear that he wants the NXT championship. Now, what does this mean? There's no takeover before WrestleMania. So, more likely than not, Finn Balor is going to defend the title at WrestleMania. Adam Cole held up the NXT title, and he wants the NXT title. So, he didn't technically explain to us why he betrayed the Undisputed Era, but at the same time, he kind of did. He implied why he did. Because he wants the NXT title. And I'm not sure if you realize this, but you take a look at where Kyle O'Reilly has been. Kyle O'Reilly's been floating around the top of the card. Kyle O'Reilly has gotten 2 NXT title matches against Finn Balor. And on top of that, Kyle O'Reilly actually got the winning pinfall at TakeOver War Games back on December 6th of 2020. So, in a way, Adam Cole kind of implied why he betrayed the Undisputed Era, because Kyle O'Reilly, he's getting all of this shine. Kyle O'Reilly's getting all this spotlight. Adam Cole became jealous. Adam Cole says, fuck this, I want the NXT title. I want to remind you all who the fuck I am. I'm Adam fucking Cole. So he betrayed Kyle O'Reilly. He's like, who's Kyle O'Reilly? Kyle O'Reilly was nothing before he met me. He's not the main event guy in the Undisputed Era. I'm the fucking main event guy in the Undisputed Era. That's pretty much why Adam Cole did what he did. And with that being said, I got 3 words for you. Fatal 4-way. WrestleMania. It's going to be Finn Balor defending the NXT title against Adam Cole, Karrion Kross, and Kyle O'Reilly. There has been no new stars moved up to that main event level spot throughout 2020 because of what Vince McMahon did to NXT, and Triple H didn't have the opportunity to do any of that. Now, Triple H is telling a long-term story with Kyle O'Reilly. Triple H probably knew that Adam Cole's time in NXT was coming to an end, So what he's doing is he's elevating Kyle O'Reilly to that main event level. He's gotten 2 NXT title matches against Finn Balor. He failed, but he got 2 NXT title matches. He got the winning pin in War Games. He's been at the top of the card, and now he's in a major storyline with Adam Cole himself. With the rumors of Karrion Kross being called up to the main roster, as well as Adam Cole, now Triple H is going to capitalize on his opportunity to build up Kyle O'Reilly. We're looking at a fatal 4-way match at WrestleMania, Balor, Kross, Cole, and O'Reilly. And I can absolutely see Kyle O'Reilly winning the NXT Championship by pinning Adam Cole. Because there's no takeover. And realistically, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly, that's a takeover-worthy match. There's no special event between now and the next takeover. So, you do a fatal 4-way at WrestleMania. All 4 men fight for the NXT title, and Kyle O'Reilly wins the NXT title by pinning Adam Cole, essentially killing 2 birds with 1 stone. You end the feud between Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole. You get Kyle O'Reilly's win over Adam Cole. You get Kyle O'Reilly the NXT Championship. And on top of that, Kross does not need to be pinned in order to lose. Kross is protected in defeat. Therefore, Kross and Adam Cole, they go up to the main roster. Then we're probably going to get a takeover at the beginning of May. Then Finn Balor comes out and said, hey, you didn't beat me. You've never beaten me. I am 2-0 against you. So we get Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly 3 at the next takeover, and that's an easy way to get an NXT title match at the next takeover, and Kyle O'Reilly finally gets his win over Finn Balor, and Kyle O'Reilly carries the NXT brand going into the summer. I don't know about you, but that's how I see things playing out. That's where things are headed, as far as I'm concerned. Fatal 4-way. Kyle O'Reilly becomes the NXT champion by pinning Adam Cole. Karrion Kross and Adam Cole are main roster bound. Balor and Kyle O'Reilly at the takeover in May. There you go. And to be quite honest, that's probably the best route to go. NXT was not really all that exciting outside of the Undisputed Era storyline. That's not saying it was a bad show. It was just kind of there. Let's check the chat. Il Pridon. Thank you for joining. Please hit that like button. Jess, so glad you are vaccinated. Hopefully I will see you in my market. I mean, like, I have not seen you since October. Seriously, I have not seen you since October. I don't know where you have been. I have not seen you since October, and I mean, come on, we gotta catch up a bit. Where are you, Jess? Unbelievable. But anyway, I'm happy that you are. I'm happy that you're doing all right. Hopefully, you're not working too hard. Be sure to hit that like button. We're at 23 likes. Not really sure why we aren't at 30 likes yet. A little disappointing. Peanuts and DD continue to dab. Unbelievable. Please make sure you share out the stream. Get some more people in here because we're trying to get to 40 likes. It looks like that dream may be a little distant. I don't know what's going on there. Big boy Johnny's still here. How you doing? But thank you for joining. El Pridon and Jessica. You are fantastic. Very, very happy to have you as a part of the chat here. Very, very happy to have the posse members in. Very, very happy to have the posse members in full throttle here today on this fine Saturday. We got 2 more weekly shows to dissect, and then we're going to get out of here. 2 more weekly shows to dissect, and then we are going to get out of here. We got NXT UK to dissect, which was actually an excellent show. This was probably the best NXT UK of the year thus far. So, NXT UK kicked off with Shaw Samuels versus A-Kid. This was for the NXT UK Heritage Cup Championship. And let me tell you something. about the Heritage Cup Championship. I do not like the British Rounds rules. The British Rounds rules, very, very outdated. Very, very annoying, to be quite honest. The stop and the start and the stop and the start and the stop and the start. There's really no need, if we're going to be quite honest, there's really no need to do the British Rounds rules. It may have worked back then, but it really doesn't work now. It really kind of hampers down the quality of the match, if I'm going to be quite honest. But I will say this. Shaw Samuels and A-Kid, they delivered a very, very good match for the NXT UK Heritage Cup Championship. They actually delivered a very good match. A-Kid has been shining. A-Kid has really been shining in these predicaments. A-Kid has really been making a name for himself in these predicaments, and he has really been telling some really good stories throughout these matches. I'm very, very, very much impressed with how far A-Kid has come, and I'm very, very happy that A-Kid is getting this shine. Him, of all people, deserves it. So, Samuels dropped the shoulder of A-Kid on the ropes, and he locked in Shankly Gates in tribute to Zach Gibson. A-Kid tapped out immediately. So, Samuels went right on the attack in the second round. Samuels kept the aggression on A-Kid. A-Kid with a suicide dive to Samuels. The second round ended. No falls. A-Kid then picked up the pace in the third round with a jumping thrust kick right to the face. And A-Kid got the second fall. In the fourth round, we had a Northern Lights suplex for a 2. Shaw Samuels kicked out. Shaw Samuels with a huge lariat on A-Kid for a 2. A-Kid was caught by Shaw Samuels. Shaw Samuels hit a very nice Michinoku driver, but A-Kid still survived. A-Kid survived the Shankly Gates, but Nigel McGuinness, I believe he was calling it the Butch's Hook. So, A-Kid survived. We go into the fifth round. A-Kid went for the armbar. Shaw Samuels fought out of it. Shaw Samuels then snapped the shoulder of A-Kid. We had an Enziguri countered with a spine buster for a 2. A-Kid locked in the Fujiwara armbar. Bent the arms back with the leg. Looked like the shoulder was out of fucking socket. Looked brutal. And Shaw Samuels tapped out. A-Kid, rightfully so, retains the NXT UK Heritage Cup Championship in a very, very good match. Very, very impressed with what A-Kid is doing. Very, very impressed with how A-Kid has come along. And I could definitely see A-Kid holding that title going into the summer. I'm liking what A-Kid's doing. Walter is officially the longest reigning NXT UK champion in history. And man. Walter, I don't think anyone's going to fucking beat that guy. I really don't. I don't think anyone's going to beat that guy. Josh Morrell versus Ben Carter. Very technical, very basic wrestling to start off this match. Carter ended up winning with the twisting cutter and the frog splash. Ben Carter is building up a nice string of wins. Ben Carter. I could definitely see Ben Carter fighting A-Kid. And I could definitely see Ben Carter defeating A-Kid, potentially winning the NXT UK Heritage Cup Championship. I definitely wouldn't mind that. So we had a press conference between Meiko Satomura and Kaylee Ray. Meiko said that Kaylee Ray hasn't experienced the title match against her. She said, "I'll teach her the meaning of being a true champion." Kaylee Ray was then asked about Meiko, and Kaylee Ray said, "Meiko was exactly what I expected because I wanted the best. And if I want to be the best, I need to beat her." Kaylee Ray said, "I am your forever champion. Yes, I can beat her." Meiko and Kaylee Ray in 2 weeks for the NXT UK Women's Championship has been confirmed. Listen, I'm excited about this match, don't get me wrong, and I actually like this press conference. It's making it feel more important than it really is. I got no issue with this press conference. I got no issue with this press conference at all. But at the same point in time, at the same point in time, Meiko Satomura's had one fucking match. Why is she already in contention for the NXT UK Women's Championship after one fucking match? Unless you are really going to have Meiko lose and Eva Valkyrie is going to be the one to take the title off of Kaylee Ray. Because there's no reason for you to have this match this early. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Aaliyah James versus Dani Luna. Dani Luna won with the Fireman's Carry Powerbomb. Dani Luna, I don't mind. I like the intensity from Dani Luna. Pretty standard match right there. And then next week we got Gallus versus Pretty Deadly. Now, Pretty Deadly. See if Pretty Deadly can hold their own against Gallus. So, then in the main event, we had Joe Coffey versus Rampage Brown. And the match itself, fucking great match. Great match for 13 minutes. I loved what these two produced here. Two big guys going out there and just beating the shit out of each other. I got no problem with that whatsoever. So, Rampage Brown came in with some very, very stiff chops. Very, very stiff chops lighting up Mr. Joe Coffey. Joe Coffey with a takedown and a big backbreaker for a 2. Joe Coffey off of that backbreaker. We then had Coffey with a shoulder block and a basement lariat for a 2. They traded strikes back and forth. We had a backdrop driver suplex by Rampage Brown for a 2. Rampage Brown with a middle rope shoulder tackle, and then he hit a beautiful brainbuster on Joe Coffey. That got a 2 count. From there, Joe Coffey with a stinger splash, an uppercut, and a German suplex. Then he hit the Glasgow send-off, but Brown rolled to the floor. Joe Coffey missed the Glasgow send-off and drove himself into the steps. Coffey tried to fight back, which he did. He fought back with a big crossbody for a 2. Brown was then able to hit the Dr. Bomb, and Rampage Brown gets the win. A great match to close out NXT UK, an excellent episode of NXT UK. If you haven't watched this episode of NXT UK, definitely go out of your way to watch it. It was very good. Rampage Brown, let me be honest with you. I did not really see anything in Rampage Brown when I first looked at him. When he first came along, I did not see anything in Rampage Brown whatsoever. Now I see someone who can be taken seriously in a match against Walter for the United Kingdom Championship. And you know what? I actually hope we do see that. This was a great match, and Rampage Brown gets the win over Joe Coffey as he should. Rampage Brown definitely has come along, and I like what he can do. I really like what he could do. Let's check the chat. Yo, Uniqueness, please hit that like button if you haven't already done so. We are trying to get to 40 likes, although I don't see us getting to 40 likes because we are going through SmackDown now, and this is our last show. Of course, we got TakeOver. Tomorrow. And not TakeOver tomorrow, Elimination Chamber tomorrow. I think you may be the only mod right now, Dee. So, I need you guys to make sure you're sharing out the stream. Please make sure you like the stream when you come in. 23 likes. We still need some more. I don't know why. You are the number one mod, Dee. That's why you're always here. We still need more. Please hit the like button. Share out the stream on all platforms, social media. Please do that. I would greatly appreciate it. Because we are about to review our final show. And then I am getting out of here. I'm going to relax. I'm going to spend time with my family. And I'm just going to chill. Because tomorrow we got none other than the Elimination Chamber. SmackDown, not very good. Not very good. It just felt like it was there. It just felt like another useless episode. Didn't really get anything of substance outside of the Apollo Crews Big E storyline, and of course, Seth Rollins promo, which I am hoping that they do follow through with what I stated they should do with Seth Rollins, and they don't go forth with Rollins and Bryan, but based on what happened in the main event segment, you know, it really does seem like they're going forth with the wrong creative decision. So Edge kicked off the show. He evaluates his decisions before Roman came out, flocked by Jay and Heyman. He says there is only one. You can pick a main eventer or you could pick the main eventer. Edge goes, you know, I'm playing you like a fiddle. Last week, you lost your cool. You know that you need me to be the main event. I see you're insecure. What you need to ask is, you need this. But do you want me to expose the dents in your armor? So Sami Zayn then came out, ran how they were not focusing on the threat that's right in front of them, saying that Sami Zayn is the master strategist and the champion of the people. And then all of a sudden, Zayn, as he's pointing to the Mania sign, he gets super kicked by Jay. Roman then handed the mic and his title to Paul Heyman. He put his hands behind his back. And he leaned in and whispered something to Edge. I don't know what he whispered to him, but he whispered something to Edge and he walked away. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that the segment was shit. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that it was a terrible segment. I'm not gonna sit here and rant and rave for hours and hours, but everyone, apart from a few retards on social media with about 20 followers that praise everything that the WWE does, everyone here is in the camp of Edge. Just announce who you're going to face. It is really becoming repetitive. It is becoming tiresome. It is becoming, it's just becoming annoying at this rate. Just say, he should have said who he was facing the night after the Rumble. He should have chosen McIntyre. And here's something that I want to know. Why are they already building towards Edge and Roman when the match hasn't even been confirmed? Why are they building towards that match when Edge hasn't even made his decision yet? And especially after what happened in the main event, you're pretty much making it predictable now of who Edge is going to choose. So you're wasting everyone's fucking time. You're wasting everyone's fucking time. From that, we go into Shinsuke Nakamura versus Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews cut a very good pre-match promo before his match with Nakamura. So, Apollo tossed Nakamura into Big E, who was sitting there on a couch. He was sitting there with his feet in a little foot jacuzzi, sitting there with a snack table, eating some dinner. So Apollo tossed Nakamura into Big E. Big E was getting pissed. Shinsuke tried to mount the comeback with a sliding German. Crews hit a spinebuster for a 2. Crews then got caught in a roll-up. Nakamura won. Crews then attacked Nakamura afterwards, sending Nakamura into the barricade. Big E then got in Apollo Crews' face, and he goes, "Listen to me, it's done. Walk away. Set those stairs down, walk away. I am saying it's done. It's over. You and me are done. Walk away." So Cruz threw the steps down. Big E went to go check on Nakamura. Then out of nowhere, Big E blasts. Big E got blasted with the steel steps. Cruz goes, "It ain't over until I say it's over." Ref tried to stop him. He tossed the steps into the ring, and he looked like he was going to hit Big E with the steps. Big E rolled to the outside, and Cruz was like, "Okay, you want me to put the steps down? You want me to put the steps down?" And he dropped the steps to the outside onto Big E. He dropped the steps to the outside onto Big E. And Big E was then attended to by the medics, and Big E was taken away on a stretcher. This version of Apollo Crews has officially turned heel. I am fucking loving it. And you know what? I can't even shit on this. Nakamura got the win here. We're probably headed towards a triple threat match with Big E, Apollo, and Nakamura. Apollo himself, he's making a strong case. He's making a really strong case of why he should be the next Intercontinental Champion. I'm loving what they're doing with Apollo. Rollins then came out, and he said that was a tragedy. That was a tragedy of what happened to Big E, and I understand where Big E and his pain is felt from. So they replayed what happened last week when the locker room walked down on Rollins. Rollins said, "That's emotional trauma." He said, "My lawyers have drafted a letter. I have filed a formal complaint, which we will win. My big return to SmackDown was ruined by a bunch of losers and cowards because they are afraid. And they know that there are millions and millions who have already embraced the vision. But the biggest loser out of all of them is Cesaro. He patronized us. He disrespected us. Anyone who stands by Cesaro will pay. We are strong and we will win. Embrace the vision. Thank you. Good night." And that was Seth Rollins' promo. Very good promo. I'm not going to lie. But the one line that stuck out to me was, he said the biggest loser out of all of them is Cesaro. And I really do want to hold out I want to cross my fingers and I want to hold out hope that they are doing the right thing. I want to hold out hope that they are going to do the right thing and they are going to go forth with Rollins and Cesaro at WrestleMania. The story writes itself. You had Rollins attack Cesaro after Cesaro stuck it to Rollins. Cesaro has been achieving all this success on his own. Rollins wanted to be the leader that SmackDown needed. Cesaro stuck it to Rollins. Cesaro has been achieving all the success on his own. He's been on like a 7-match winning streak. If Cesaro wins the Chamber, that's an even bigger slap in the face to Rollins. The story writes itself. Cesaro wins the Chamber. Cesaro stuck it to Rollins. Cesaro faces Reigns. Rollins costs Cesaro the World Championship. And we build towards Rollins and Cesaro at WrestleMania. Because there's no way you're going to justify Seth Rollins getting an IC title match against Big E when he hasn't had a single match back. So if you want a big return match for Seth Rollins, do Cesaro. It's not Edge and Roman. That's the big money match. It's not Bryan versus Rollins. It's not Rollins versus Roman. It is Rollins and Cesaro. It is Bryan versus Roman. It is Edge versus McIntyre. That's the way to go. The story writes itself. You have everything at your fingertips. Follow through with it. Cesaro wins the Chamber. It's right at your disposal. It's unpredictable. It gets us a fresh match with Roman. It gets us an even greater story. It gets us some unpredictability in there. And Rollins can cost Cesaro building towards their match at Mania. Why? Because it makes sense. Rollins is pissed that Cesaro stuck it to him. Meanwhile, Cesaro's going to stick it to Rollins by winning the Chamber. Rollins is trying to guide everyone, but Cesaro is proving that he doesn't need Rollins' guidance. Cesaro wins the Chamber. Cesaro is the best possible candidate to win the Chamber. Simple as that. The Riot Squad versus Natalya and Tamina. I didn't even take any notes on this. Billie Kay came out. She distracted the Riot Squad. Natalya got the win. Natalya and Tamina got the win. Tamina then super kicked Billie Kay afterwards. Even Tamina and Natalya know Billie Kay is AIDS. Just pointing that out there. We had Ding Dong. Hello. With Bayley. Ding Dong Hello with Bayley. Wearing a fucking turtleneck, glasses. I mean, seriously, is this the best that you fucking got for Bayley? This is what Kevin Owens was doing before he entered into the feud with Reigns. You're literally having Bayley fill Kevin Owens' role. Kevin Owens was doing the fucking Kevin Owens show. His fucking talk show every fucking week. Now Bayley's doing fucking Ding Dong Hello. You really got nothing better for Bayley? So she introduced Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. They were mocking Sasha and Bianca. Reginald came out and he goes, I cannot let you slander the good name of Sasha Banks. You are weak and disposable. So Nia then got in Reginald's face before Sasha came out. She told Reginald not to speak for her again. Sasha said the division revolves around her before Bianca came out. Reginald said, you shouldn't be fighting with each other. You should be fighting with them. How about the three of us fight the three of you? So Nia then calls for a ref. And we get a 6-person tag team match. Bayley was wrestling in socks. Bayley was wrestling in her black pants, socks, and a turtleneck with the fucking sleeves cut off. I mean, come on. How fucking embarrassing is that? To a woman who held the fucking SmackDown Women's title for 380 days. Reginald was caught, he was wrestling in street clothes. Reginald was then caught by Nia Jax, and then Sasha and Bianca drop-kicked Reginald onto Nia for the win. And Reginald, apparently he got himself into some shit with Carmella. Why the fuck are they still having Reginald float around Sasha Banks? Why is Reginald going to be the one that sparks up the fucking feud between Sasha and Bianca? Why are you even continuing the Reginald-Sasha storyline when the Carmella storyline's fucking over with? What are you doing? And then on top of that, then we got a women's tag team title match with Bianca and Sasha taking on Nia and Shayna. I don't know why. Now, I have a theory as to why this is happening. It's because they legitimately have nothing else. But I'm still in the boat of it should not be happening, because neither Sasha nor Bianca should be losing, and Shayna and Nia shouldn't be losing, because they're going to be fighting Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai should realistically be the next women's tag team champions. So, if they want to, if we get a decent women's tag team championship match, which I assume we will, I mean, it's Shayna, Sasha, and Bianca. More likely than not, we'll get a fairly decent title match there. We'll get a decent title match. So, from there, I can absolutely see Bianca losing, and then Sasha could turn heel on her, and then that could spark up Bianca's decision, and then Bianca will choose Sasha, and that would give them some tension going into their match at WrestleMania. See what happens there. Rey and Dominic Mysterio versus the Alpha Academy. Tag team champions were on commentary. The ref then counted Gable and Otis in. I'm not sure if Gable and Otis turned heel or not, but Rey and Dominic won via DQ. Gable didn't give a shit, and Otis delivered a big splash from the middle rope. So it looks like Gable may be corrupting Otis. Not really sure where that's going to lead to, but I'm still wondering why the fuck he even broke up Heavy Machinery just to have Tucker do fucking nothing except chase the fucking 24/7, 7-Eleven, 48/7, I-95 European Television Championship on Monday Night Raw. Only this time, he's not even on the fucking show now. Bad Bunny. Bad fucking Bunny is the 24/7 champion. The fucking Chia Pet hairstyle. Fucking terrible. So then we get a 6-man tag. Sami Zayn, Burger King on Crack Corbin, KFC Corbin, White Castle 2-for-6 Corbin, and Jey Uso versus Cesaro, Daniel Bryan, and Kevin Owens. So the babyfaces won here. Daniel Bryan gets the win with the yes lock. Afterwards, everyone started getting their finishers in. Edge came in and speared Jey Uso. Roman came in out of nowhere and speared Edge to hold up the Universal title to end the show. And with that, they pretty much just solidified that Edge is going to choose Roman. And you pretty much backed yourself into a corner here, because now, if Edge doesn't choose Roman, he's going to look like an idiot. If Edge chooses McIntyre, he'll look like an idiot. He'll look like an idiot because of Roman getting physical with him. And now you're pretty much backing yourselves into a corner. Who the fuck does McIntyre face at WrestleMania? Why doesn't McIntyre have a solid plan? Why aren't you doing Edge versus McIntyre like you should have done? Why? Edge versus Roman will do nothing. Roman will not be enhanced by defeating Edge. What the fuck do you do with McIntyre? You really couldn't go forth with Roman and Bryan, and you really couldn't go forth with Edge and McIntyre. Was that really so fucking hard? Was that really so fucking hard? You booked yourselves into a corner and you made it that much more predictable that Edge is already going to choose Roman Reigns. If this was the case, you should have just had Edge choose who he was going to face, whether it be Roman or McIntyre, on the first night after the Royal Rumble. I don't fucking understand. I don't. I really don't. I really don't want to bitch and moan and rant and rave and scream and yell and blow my voice out. We actually ended fairly early here. We actually ended fairly early. 2 minutes, 33 seconds and counting. 2 hours, 33 minutes and counting. But that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every single one of you who tuned into this video. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Like, comment, and subscribe. Like, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the links in the description if you missed it, including the rewind for TakeOver Vengeance Day and the rundown for Elimination Chamber with Mr. Hibiki TMD. 23 likes, not too bad. Hopefully we'll get to 30 before the rewind. The rewind for the Elimination Chamber, that is going to be up on Monday. That is up Monday. I'm going to see if I can get that up Monday at Monday at 12:30. Monday at 12:30 p.m. So you can eat lunch and enjoy DJ Storms. You can eat lunch, you can enjoy DJ Storms. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you, Rob Wells Jr. Thank you, Big Boy Johnny. Thank you, Jess. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, DD, my #1 mod. Thank you, everyone. I'm hoping for a decent show tomorrow, but more likely not, we could probably get a shit show. I'll be here to shit on it because that's what I do. That's just what I do. I'll be here to shit on it. Of course, you will love when rant mode is activated. Check out all the links in the description. Like, comment, subscribe. As always, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and this has been the Lightning Flash Update. I will catch you all tweeting live tomorrow for WWE Elimination Chamber. Peace.